Reserves for this Buck team, and this is where the Nets got to make up some ground. Obviously, it's a long game, but you don't want to dig yourself that big of a hole. And they should have an advantage, and they go to the bench. Harden's going to come back with some reserves right now.
Harden will play with Millsap, Aldridge, Carter, and Mills. So Jordan Nwora has come into the game now. Nwora, former second-round pick in 2020. After playing at Louisville. Feed to Connaughton, a two-hand slam up the penetration by George Hill. And the Bucks with a 33-15 lead with 2:47 to go here in the first.
Impressive execution out of the timeout. They really had the Nets back on their heels, and that was an easy two.
Harden left of the lane, had it stripped to the foul. Giannis on the bench here is Nwora out there with Thanasis Antetokounmpo. Lopez back in the game.
Mark Kestecher, PJ Carlosimo with you courtside in Milwaukee. The first 25 of the new NBA 75th anniversary team is out. We got lots of Nets and Bucks on this.
Yeah, I like what the NBA did. Obviously, knowing this was going to be the first game of the year, you got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Oscar Robertson, and Giannis. How's that for a trio?
Pretty good.
All three in the first 25 they revealed. And again, you see this, they're not from any particular era. They mixed it up. They've got veteran players. They got players from a long time ago, and they've got the modern ones. For the Nets, Kevin Durant and Dr. J, that's a pretty good combo. James Harden, and let's not forget the man sitting on the bench, Steve Nash, Basketball Hall of Famer, by way of Canada.
One of the greats, and in his second season as Nets head coach. Out of the timeout, George Hill, hard drive, finds Connaughton, who gets up and slams it home.
Another familiar face back here in Milwaukee, George Hill. I think an excellent addition.
George Hill, who was traded in the Drew Holiday trade. So they got Holiday, and they get Hill back a year later. 33-15 Milwaukee. Here's Harden on the drive, and he's fouled as he was getting a shot up and gathering. He'll shoot two. Been a slow start for both Kevin Durant and James Harden, and it'll be interesting, PJ, to see how the new interpretation of the rules affects guys like Harden.
Well, James Harden is one of the people that's the creator of the rule. I mean, he was impossible, and he was so good at maneuvering his body into people. The phrase that we're going to keep repeating, Kesty, overt, abrupt, or abnormal non-basketball moves. That's James just getting his defender up in the air or sideways and then kind of bumping into them. If you don't go straight line or make a direct play, the referees are not going to call it. I was really anxious to watch James tonight. I haven't seen anything even resembling that yet. Steve Nash, when we talked to him before the game, talked about how James is really not in playing shape yet.
He didn't get cleared until right before camp.
He never got cleared at the end of last year. Yeah. He played on one leg. Shouldn't have even, basically wouldn't have played if it were regular season in that series. So I think it's going to be a while before we see the James Harden we're used to.
Harden made 2 free throws. Now Harris with a steal for Brooklyn. Beats Patty Mills, who shoots a 3 and hits. So 5 straight for Brooklyn. Still trailing 33-20 at the 2:15 mark to go in the first quarter.
Well, no shortage of firepower for either of these teams.
George Hill on the left wing, slings it down to Thanasis Antetokounmpo, and he sees Millsap and retreats to the left. Now attacks Millsap into the lane, floats it up with the right hand and muscles it in. Kind of mean mugs his own bench. Said, I can get some points too, Giannis. Here's LaMarcus Aldridge. Free throw line jumper missed, and as the Brooklyn Nets were trying to rebound it underneath the basket, it'll be the Bucks ball the other way. Jordan Nwora driving. Nwora, the second-year man from Louisville, missing a 15-foot jumper. James Harden has the rebound.
Another player who played in Tokyo, Jordan Nwora, for Nigeria.
James Harden was the one who was going up for that offensive rebound. Might have got hit across the forehead as he tries to loop one to LaMarcus Aldridge, and the uber-aggressive Thanasis Antetokounmpo knocking that ball out bounds on the near side. Harden will be the trigger man. Minute 26 to go, first quarter. Harden flips it in to Paul Millsap, who played for Coach Budenholzer in Atlanta for 4 years.
Played very well.
Yeah, all-star years. Pass to Millsap, fakes on the 3, tries to drive down the lane, flips it up at the end of the shot clock, no good.
Violation.
And they do call the shot clock violation against Millsap in Brooklyn.
And Josh Tiven with the strong call there. No need to look at it. He knew he had that right. tell you, that's one shot at that other end. Brooklyn not off to a good start. When you combine that with the fact that they're not doing anything on the offensive glass, that's going to get them in a big hole.
George Hill, outstanding three-point shooter, standing between the rings. Waiting for a screen from Connaughton. Gets it, fires the three, back iron, high carom. Millsap grabs it for Brooklyn. Brooklyn down 15, down floor Harden. Harden passes to the corner. Here's Mills for three, bags another one from the right, and Brooklyn back within 12.
James Harden knows Patty Mills is going to deliver. Patty hustles down the floor and gets his feet set. He's going to be the recipient of a lot of James Harden, Kevin Durant, and maybe Kyrie Irving passes.
George Hill was losing control. Found Brook Lopez, who got it swatted away, but Hill right there to pick it up. Gets it to Connaughton. Tight corner three. Overshot the rim. Loose. Millsap has it ripped away by Wara. And he puts it in. Jordan Wara absolutely thievery on the baseline.
A great aggressive play. James Harden wants to know that why wasn't a delay of the game. The Bucks kind of knocked the ball loose, prevented Brooklyn from getting up the court. You got about, a 7-second differential between the shot and the game clock.
37-23. What an opening quarter for the defending champs here in Milwaukee. James Harden taking his time. Shot clock deeps under 10. Guarded by Thanasis. Between the legs dribble. Completely fakes him out. Harden flips it up and in. What a move by James Harden.
Impossible to defend one-on-one.
Thanasis down the other end. Gets to the free throw line. Nearly had it poked away. 4 seconds to go in the quarter. Finds Connaughton. Missed a three. Rebounded by Harden. He will not shoot at the horn. 37 first quarter points, PJ, and a 12-point Bucks lead after one.
Yeah, you're surprised to see him miss. Thanasis out of the combo made a nice pass. Pat Connaughton was wide open in front of us here in the left corner. Was not able to make it, but still 7 for 15 from three, 47%. That'll get it done for the Bucks.
Got their rings, got a big lead after one. Milwaukee 37, Brooklyn 25, and this is the NBA on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Canty and Golick Jr.
I like this Bills offense, and then when you see what they're capable of doing on the defensive end, being able to create all the takeaways, this is a legit football team. Like, they're one of the best football teams in the NFL. I'm not ready to crown them and say that they're the king of the mountain, but I think they're right up there with teams like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, teams like the Dallas Cowboys. Like, that's how complete this Buffalo Bills team is.
Check out Canty and Golick Jr. weekdays at 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN Plus. Mike Greenberg. Greeny.
The Cowboys are scary. Great teams can beat you no matter how you force them to play. They can beat you running, they can beat you throwing, and their defense is opportunistic and getting better. They are a legit Super Bowl contender. You cannot make a list of the teams that you could see win the Super Bowl this year right now and not have the Cowboys on it.
Greeny with Mike Greenberg. Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio and watch exclusively on ESPN Plus.
Restrictions